Hello, Tom, aka Jedino here for Tabletop Taproom. And this is a quick update. It's going to be off the cuff, no script. I just want to say to my subscribers, hey, I apologize. There's not going to be any real Taproom this week. This is just an off the cuff update. I'm not even writing a script because I was going to write a script this weekend, but things have been happening. So I don't know, a week and a half I was sick, and that dragged out for it was 3 days of just being and did the COVID test, came back negative, but it was 3 days of not being able to focus. And and then fourth day of just trying to work on stuff, but not up to speed. And then a family member came down with COVID. She was asymptomatic, and we waited out the 5 days. And then the good wife was like, you should get your second booster shot. And so she scheduled it, and I went. And curiously, this second booster shot kicked my butt, laid me out flat. This doesn't normally happen like this. I mean, the first immunization shot, I had COVID arm, big rashy red rash on the arm. It was very itchy and very sensitive. Couldn't even tolerate a t-shirt sleeve touching it. And so I cut the sleeves off a t-shirt and ran around the house in that till the COVID arm went away. Second immunization shot, no big deal. First booster, no big deal. And but this one, I mean, headache, nausea, weakness, just laid me out. So I had several projects this weekend I was planning on working on. None of it got done. It was a rough weekend for Tommy Boy. So I probably could have rushed to write a script today and filmed it and edited it and gotten it out into cyberspace. And I just said, I don't know. I still have things I've got to do, chores around the house that, I'm not 100%. So it's going to be sit and rest, then go, get on my feet and do stuff for 20, 30 minutes, then sit and rest and do stuff for 20, 30 minutes. I already know how this is going to go today because I feel better, but I still feel weak. So I already know how this is going to go. And there are things I absolutely have to do in the house for the house. It can't be blown off. So I just decided not gonna do right by the subscribers. I apologize. So that's that. That's the update. Now, good news though. Star Frontier's Gamer channel has 2 videos in the can, ready to go on their regularly scheduled day. So Star Frontier's Gamer is good. And I'm pretty much going to sandbag this week. I'm going to use it to get caught up. And so Tabletop Taproom is going to suffer a little bit. And I just want to apologize for that. So that's update number 1. Update number 2. Hey, this came in the mail while I was sick. So I spent parts of yesterday, either in the chair with the feet up on a stool, reading and then sleeping and reading and sleeping, or in the bed reading and sleeping. So it's kind of thin. And I'm ashamed to say I didn't completely get through. I'd fall asleep. I just needed sleep. I was just so weak and so exhausted. So Quantum Starfarer, really, really slick, simplified version of Traveler. Cepheus engine 2D6. I only have 2 criticisms of it. One's a nitpicky, and that's the cover. I don't like the art direction on the cover here. The putting, the name in black, it doesn't stand out. I feel like, my opinion, it should have been in white, same as the stuff up here. Stuff on the back's in white, so you can read it. it's just this gets lost, and I don't think the name of the game should get lost. I think the name of the game should be in your face, like, oh, Quantum Starfarer. Um, so it's a nitpicky thing. Um, you know, but it's a slick, cool book. There are illustrations in it that relieve the eye. There's the layout isn't bad. They use white space. They allow for white space in here in some of the layout. So not trying to cram in and use every single space that there's quality layout going on in here, and that's the um, journalism credits from college speaking. So I see quality layout. It's well written. It's a very well written, simplified version of Traveler. So if I never played Traveler back in the day, but I've invested in some of the little black books. And the good wife and I played the Traveler mini game where you risk dying during character creation. I absolutely love that, and because there is no jeopardy in player character creation unless the player character can die. So I know that some people criticize that. I don't get it. To me, I thought it was fun. I thought the mini game in the original Traveler was fun, and the good wife and I sat here and rolled up a couple of characters and enjoyed it. And so that's not in here. This is a very much a simplified version of character creation for Traveler. It lacks the mini game. That is my big criticism. I like the mini game. However, I now have a couple of the little black books, so I could take the mini game character creation, and I could just use that and then use this. This is a very slick, well presented, easy to read presentation of Traveler. So this was great. I really enjoyed this. Even though I kept falling asleep and napping while trying to read it. And I did not completely get through it. I still have to get to the Starship section. So I thought this was great, and I wanted to give a shout out. I sent the one of the game designers an IM and told him, hey, I really appreciated this. It just came in the mail, and so just gave him a little shout out, and he said thanks. So you guys are great. Quantum Starfarer, good stuff. So that's update number 2. Update number 3 is I've been waiting to see what new TSR was going to do about the revelations about its game designer, Dave, the white supremacist. Now, I had reported that it looked like Dave was working white supremacist themes and tropes into his game design in the fluff that he released in his magazine, Alarms and Journeys. And, been waiting, nothing. And actually, over the weekend, there was a round of blocking people on Twitter. The Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum Twitter page has just gone and blocked a bunch of people, and I'm kind of like, I guess that's their response. There's not going to be any statement of disavowing this stuff from Dave. So that's the statement of new TSR. New TSR, of course, only has one employee, according to Rancid Lord, who moderates their Discord forum. Rancid Lord repeatedly states that there's only one employee, and that's Dave. That's Justin Lanassa. So I think we can infer that Justin's response has been he endorses Dave. Now Dave has tried to do a little bit of spin. After the person who did the deep dive on his Twitter account and then just collected all the images and then posted them in topics on a web page. The web page, if you need to check it out, you can Google it, or I guess I could tell you it's nohateingaming.com. And it's rough. Okay. I examined the page, looked at all of the content on it, and then I went and scrolled through the Twitter account. And I confirmed that 90% of what's on that page, the No Hate in Gaming page, was indeed in the Twitter account. And you say, well, 90%. Well, yeah. You reach a point where you start feeling the pain. You start feeling violated in your soul. Like, I got to go take a shower. You know, it started to affect me. And I just had to get off. And I figured confirming 90% is pretty good. I'm not going to sweat the 10%. Okay. Now, what's the big deal? All right. Well, you know, he's advocating the murder of homosexuals on his page. It right here, Daddy killed a homosexual at the highway rest area. Okay, that's bad. You know, all right, that's bad. Then this here actually I consider to be worse. This politically incorrect. In your heart, you know he's right, and who's the he? Well, this little face is very recognizable. That is Adolf Hitler, and his face is superimposed on a red heart. Let's just remove this. This is despicable content, anyways. What was Hitler correct about? Was it the Autobahn? Hitler's one good idea? I mean, do you think Dave is promoting, Hitler was right? The Autobahn's such a good idea. No, he's not promoting that the Autobahn was a good idea. Okay? He's not promoting that. Could it be that, Hitler was right to make war on all of Europe and invade the rest of Europe? Was that what Hitler was right about? I don't really think he's promoting that. No, I think he's promoting the final solution. And what was that? Well, famously, the Holocaust, 6 million Jews exterminated, genocided. But not just 6 million Jews, there were 5 million ethnic minorities also killed. Hitler killed 11 million people in death camps. Okay, irrespective of people who died in war because of him, a war he started. Okay, so the death toll is greater than 11 million. Okay, but at least those people who died in war kind of had a chance to fight back. Okay, but these were people who were rounded up, sent to death camps, and then worked to death or just exterminated in gas chambers and then their bodies cremated in ovens. So when I see this material from Dave, in your heart, you know he's right. He's speaking to the 11 million people murdered at the order of Adolf Hitler. It's just unconscionable. Okay. And yes, this absolutely was on his Twitter feed. Now he has stated that he lost control of his Twitter feed. Okay. Well, let's entertain that proposition. This material on his Twitter feed, I can testify, went back to 2018. Goes back to 2018 when he was a nobody. So in 2018, somebody got control of a nobody's of Twitter feed, and then started posting the most hateful racial material on there to ruin a nobody's reputation. And this nobody ignored it for 4 years. Okay, now I know Twitter's slow, but they're not that slow. Okay, they are slow. So 24 to 36 hours after this story breaks, suddenly, buddy of mine, I know through the internet, informed me that content was being deleted off the Twitter feed. Well, that's interesting. And then all of a sudden, the Twitter feed disappeared altogether. And now the story is that, yeah, they finally got Twitter to take down the account. So, look, I know Twitter's slow. They're not 4 years slow. But also, the fact that they are slow, you don't get something taken down in 24 hours. Okay. And the fact that individual content started disappearing first and then the whole account disappeared kind of says that Mr. Dave was in charge of his account the whole time. That's how I would interpret that. Because that's what everybody says. Oh, my account got hacked. And half the time we really don't believe it. We give people the benefit of the doubt, but we just, we kind of know. That's the common thing. And and I've had people who legitimately got locked out of their Facebook account, so they started a new account, spelled their name slightly differently. um so yeah, i I get it. And the old account got locked. I don't know what hell all happened there, but you weren't getting years of racist, anti homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, of the worst order. Let's talk about the misogynistic. It was in line. What was being posted was in line with what I've seen on other platforms of social media posted by Dave. I don't believe Dave when he claims that somebody got a hold of his Twitter account and that they've been posting this material for 4 years. And they were like, maybe a time traveler went back in time to when Dave was a nobody and got his Twitter account so he could do this to ruin Dave. Dave was a nobody back then. He's only a somebody because of his connection to the controversy surrounding new TSR. And he's now a nobody again because he's being deplatformed, and his name is now mud in the gaming community. He's striking out with game design, and now all his stuff is being removed. Drive-Thru has said, we don't want to be associated with this, and they've deplatformed him. His stuff has been removed off of YouTube, and remains to be seen with his podcast on Spotify. What's going to happen there? So I mean, he was a nobody, and he's returning to be a nobody, and but he's going to be a despised nobody. So this is Dave. New TSR refusing to disassociate from him. The new round of blocking of everybody. Standard TSR answer. Let's just block people. Let me give you a piece of advice, Justin. The blocking, it's not going to work. Okay. I don't even have to have an alt. I just use an incognito window, and I go on your Facebook page and I look at what you've posted. Okay. You could block all you like, but incognito window lets me go on there in incognito, and I look at your Facebook page and I see what you've posted. And so this, I'll just block them. It's not working. We have ways around, and we have channels of information on top of that. So your answer to all of this, which is I'll just block more people, is so ineffectual. But keep on doing it. Keep on doing it, Justin. Probably makes you happy. So that's update number 3. I don't think we're going to see a disavowal of Dave from new TSR. I think we can assume that Justin's attitude towards the level, and this is not garden variety prejudice. This is next level. This is next level white supremacy, Nazism. Just advocating murder as a good thing, advocating ethnic cleansing. Not just the 6 million Jews, but 5 million ethnic minorities. None of this is good. This is horrible. This stuff was just next level. It was like, and if the next level was like raving lunatic, white supremacist with his shirt off, chugging milk, being a Yahoo, if that was next level, this actually went beyond that. I mean, this was like all the way to the firewall, just absolute ugliness. And it hurt my soul to look at it. It did. So I don't know if I recommend that you go look at it. If you're like, I don't know if I believe what I'm hearing, and you want to go look at it, fine. I can testify. I did the deep dive in the Twitter account, and I confirmed 90% of what I saw on that web page. And I did it to my own detriment. I really felt dirty, felt violated after the exercise. So I don't think I'd recommend it for anyone else. If you are at all any kind of a decent human being, I don't recommend it for you. It's not a good thing. Just take my word seriously. So I think at this point we have to consider ourselves done. Absolutely done. Okay. I'm now no longer going to review Star Frontier's New Genesis. I've always said I was going to review it and give it a good, honest review as much as I could be, impartial. Because obviously I have a little bit of an axe to grind with those buffoons. But now I'm just not going to. We've seen white supremacist themes and tropes being worked into it, because he's also trying to use this RPG as a platform for his racist political views. And I'm just not going to even review it. Not going to. It's despicable. And I'm kind of done. I'm kind of all done with Dave Johnson, Star Frontier's New Genesis. So it's worst case scenario that you could have in game design, because it's going to be politically, socially irrelevant. Nobody's going to want to play that game. And I think we should all be done. And if the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum and TSR continue to support Dave, I think we should be done with them. That's the way it is. So that is my third update. So Dave needs to be called out. He wants to pretend to be a conservative. You're not a conservative. You're a radical. Okay. Only a radical advocates murder. Okay. Only a radical does that. And if you're advocating murder, but you never do it, but somebody who looked at your stuff actually goes out and does it, are you culpable? I kind of think maybe, yeah. So if you're part of the culture that's advocating murder of homosexuals or of Jews or whatever, you're a radical. You're not a conservative. Okay. You're a radical and you need to be called out. And you're a despicable excuse of a human being. And I'm going to pray for you, because that's my job. God expects me to do that. So I will pray for you, but you need to turn from this garbage. So that's me calling out Dave. Justin, you are making a big mistake, and you need to make a turn as well. You should disavow Dave. You might actually salvage a little bit of credibility if you did. But we kind of know you're not going to. It's that whole motorcycle culture. You come at me, I'm going to push back. I never back down. So we're kind of not expecting you to back down. We're not expecting you to do a mea culpa, fall on your sword, disavow Dave. We're not expecting any of that. We'd be surprised if we got it. It would be the right move, but we don't expect it. So we think we have your answer as well on these issues. So it's Tom from Tabletop Taproom signing out. I want to thank my subscribers. You guys are great. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching the video. And I'm going to get off the other screen here, this despicable website, and then I'm going to go take a shower. So keep on gaming.